Hello world, Virgil here with CRZYCYBR, and today we are going to be reviewing and going through the best Amazon products for the Flipper Zero that I've found, and we are going to be reviewing them and just kind of going over what's worth buying, what's not, and all that good stuff. So on the roster today we have several different Flipper products that perform different functions. Some protect the Flipper and others extend its capabilities and range. And as you can see, we have quite a few packages to open here. But before we get started, I just wanted to throw in a shameless plug for CRZYCYBR.com. Go check out the site, take a look at the cool hacking gadgets, the useful products, and I have some free training on there like the HTML cheat sheet, some free STLs, and I'm going to be posting very soon a lot of free training for tools such as mmap and Metasploit. So be on the lookout for those. So with that out of the way, let's get to opening some Amazon packages. Alright, so we are going to be starting with this teal colored package right here. Let's see what we got. CyberHive. So DevBoard adapter. Couple thank you notes, some QR codes. So this is the case for the Wi-Fi DevBoard adapter, and this is the graphic print case. So there we go. Looks like for some reason we got two of them, which I'm not complaining. Looks like this is a jig for placing the dev board inside. So you can see the pattern. Pretty cool. Little 8-bit graphic design there. And for some reason we got two of them. So that's pretty cool. Snaps into place. We'll be testing that with a dev board soon to check the fit. Alright, on to the next one. Alright guys, next up we have this classic Amazon Prime packaging here. And this is going to be one of the cases. So, I believe this is the gray one. Alright guys, so the official name for this product is going to be 5-in-1 Protective Accessories. Protect your device from scratches and damage. That's actually the description. So the official title of this product is going to be 5-in-1 Protective Accessories, soft silicone case, an EVA carrying case, and 3-pack of screen protect and SD card dust plug and GPIO dust plug for Flipper Zero, original orange set orange. Super streamlined and efficient name. We have our silicone case here. It looks a little bit deformed right there, but I'm assuming that'll hold its shape. We have our screen protectors. That's some cool artwork right there. I'm a sucker for graphic art. Definitely super cool. Nice branding there, nice packaging. Now this should contain our dust plugs and our screen protectors, unless they are... Okay, no, there are our dust plugs for the SD card slot and for the dev board connections on the top of the Flipper. Now we got our screen protectors. Those are right there. Obviously they're very small because the Flipper screen is small. And as you can see, I definitely could have used those. You see a couple scratches on the screen there. They could probably buff out, but I'm not willing to put in that much work. So I have to take a look at what these are. So this looks like a screen protection film as well. Probably, or what stick the screen protector on would be my guess. wipes to clean the surface, and this appears to be some sort of applicator to squeegee, but it's much bigger than the size of the screen, so that's, I don't know about that. And directions for the case and everything that's in it. Nothing on the back. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at one more package, and then I got a note about another product that is going to be in this video. Not quite sure when it's going to get here because it was just sent back to China because it didn't clear customs, which is crazy. I've ordered like probably 20 of these things in my life, never had a problem, but tensions with the US and China and Russia, we may stop seeing some merch come through, which would be pretty disastrous for a lot of the US economy. Alright, now we're moving on to this one right here. This should have 2 or 3 things in it. Okay. So here we have another 5-in-1 carrying case slash screen protector and GPIO. You can see right there, 5-in-1, and this is the black one. And when I saw this, I really liked it. It kind of has a carbon look to it. So yeah, get a load of that. Pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat. I built motorcycles for a while when I was a mechanic, as well as working on cars, so definitely a fan of carbon fiber. And this should contain every single last thing that was in the other one. This time we got a black carrying case. All the pins are labeled. That's pretty handy, to be honest. Got our SD card slot, charger port, all that good stuff. And yep, same exact spot. We got our covers here. Same thing, clearly made by the same manufacturer over in China. Most likely, just like 99.9% of stuff is these days. Same applicator, same screen protectors, all that good stuff. And then here we have a standalone Flipper Zero case. Same thing, same company. Most likely injection molding these and then cleaning them up, mass produce them. Super simple product. So yeah. Alright, so now let's go over pricing. This Flipper Zero Wi-Fi DevBoard Pixel R case Wi-Fi board protection box is going for $19.99 on Amazon right now, which is extremely expensive for what it is, which is basically just a small plastic box with some artwork on it. And it looks cool and it's a good design, and I'm not trying to knock somebody's creation or their business, but to me that is a little bit pricey for what this is, especially when you consider you get the silicone case for the Flipper for $9.99 by itself. It does come with this little jig thing, and it is really cool. I really do actually really like the design and the artwork on it. So if that's your thing, check it out, link in description. Alright guys, so next up we got both the 5-in-1 protective accessory soft silicone case and EVA carrying case and 3-pack of screen protector and SD card dust plug and GPIO dust plug for Flipper Zero black set and gray set. Now both of these retail for the same price because they're obviously the same product. They retail for $14.99, and all things considered, I actually think that's a pretty darn good deal. The case does what it's supposed to. Both the carrying case itself as well as the silicone flipper case. You get 3 screen protectors and the dust covers, which you'll see later on in the video. You'll see. So that's that product, and to be honest, I sincerely think that that's definitely worth the buy. And you'll see during the drop test later that it functions very well and does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is protect your Flipper Zero. Alright guys, now we have the soft protective case cover silicone case for Flipper Zero, original orange. Now this product is going for $9.99. So it's up to you if it's worth it. If you're one of these guys that kind of just raw dogs their flipper in their pocket, and you don't want to carry around a case or put it in a book bag, then this might be a good option for you. I'm of the opinion, kind of, for $5 more, $6 more, whatever, I get also a carrying case, also a screen protector, in addition to the silicone case. So to me, I would pretty much opt in for the 5-in-1 silicone cover, flipper cover, zero cover, dust cover, SD card. I would opt in for that one, just because you get all that extra stuff for only $6 more, and whether or not you use it at that point doesn't even matter, because you could use it for cables and whatever. So in the next part of this video series, we're going to be getting into the really good juicy stuff. Things like the sub-GHz Range Extender that connects to the GPIO pins, pretty serious, hacky looking Wi-Fi DevBoard, and all that stuff's on the way. It got sent back from customs, so I had to film this now. But that's something you're going to want to watch, because that's, the really good stuff, and hopefully I'll be getting that video out in a couple weeks or something like that. Alright, so without further ado, we're going to get into the nitty-gritty and start really inspecting these products, testing their quality and testing their functionality. You're going to want to stay tuned for the drop test. Had some pretty surprising results with that. Psych! Gotcha! No, just kidding. But so these are a couple of the honorable mentions. These are a couple of the products that I thought were cool, but they were either too expensive or too kind of cheap looking, or I just didn't think that they would make a good fit. Now this case right here I thought was super cool, but they're asking $75 for this case, and it is 3D printed, and I believe it's made by the same company that did that DevBoard cover that I got for $20. That came with 2 of them, and it is a really cool case. I mean, I really like the design, but at the $75 price point, it's just not something that I thought most people would consider or spring for. Then again, in this world, there are a lot of people with more money than sense. Or maybe you just want to do it to support somebody who's making cool stuff, and if that's the case, more power to you. I just personally wouldn't do it, but maybe I would if I had 100 million, infinity, trillion, billion dollars in the bank. But at the end of this video, I have a 3D printed flipper case that I 3D printed for this video, and that STL file is going to be on CRZYCYBR.com, available for free for anybody to download and print. And it is very well thought out in the design, and it is what I'm going to show you guys is zero processing, no sanding, nothing, just raw dogging that thing, throw it together, bolt it together, and put my flipper in. It has even an insert for if your flipper has a case or not. It's really well thought out. So stay tuned for the end of the video to see that, as well as the STL file will be linked in the description. Alright, now let's move on to the reviews. Alright guys, so up first, we are going to go through this carbon fiber look flipper case, take a look at the build quality, go over the description, go over the price, and just see if it's worth it for what this is. I'm kind of a harsh critic when it comes to products like this, just because I know how cheaply they are made and how cheaply they are manufactured in China. Some of the places in China do phenomenal manufacturing. They make truly good quality products. They don't skip on any processes in that manufacturing process, and they produce a very good high quality product, but it is hit or miss. And so far I like this. The weaves all match up, it rounds the corner and still matches. The zipper, it's not completely consistent all the way across where it's stitched into the body, You can see there's some bulge going this way on this side and some bulge that goes straight across here, which means that when they folded it and sewed this in, this corner must have came loose and it just got stitched in. Some of these things are really nitpicky, but I like to review products thoroughly so people really know what they're buying and if it's actually worth their hard-earned money. Now the zipper, it's sleek, it's clearly cast. Definitely not forged as a cast zipper. It may have some post casting processing in terms of sanding and smoothing, but you can still see that the kind of rough, dimply shape that appears to been smoothed out by either the powder coating or the paint. Hopefully it's powder coating. Powder coating is much more durable, it's much more flexible than paint, and it's much less likely to chip or scrape. So now the zipper feel, it's pretty rough. The zipper feels pretty rough, especially when going around the corners. It feels rough. It doesn't feel like a high quality product, but you know, what do you expect? So you see how that is, the zipper's not straight, right? And I'm already running into some pretty rough resistance there, but you see how the zipper's not straight? It goes in a straight line here and then tapers up and then goes down and back around. So this is not the most high quality case. It's so you can see the thickness of this and it tapers all the way down. That's pretty bad actually. I mean that's like, you know, I mean, I'm not going to measure it, but that's a significant difference between the cloth part here and the cloth part here. That's pretty shoddy. It's super thin there, a lot thicker on the top. It's not in the middle. The case itself, it's nice and smooth, but I mean, it feels cheap, and it is cheap, right? So it's not like that's a deal breaker, but I like quality products and I like them to have a quality feel to them, and this does not. So now let's take a look at the inside and see if we can see the stitching. So you can see it overlaps here. This is just kind of loosey-goosey, glued down maybe. That right there is very, very shoddy craftsmanship. That's very shoddy craftsmanship. It's not straight all the way around. Look how thin it gets here, how thick it gets here, going all the way down and around. Let's see how the netting is sewn in. Like this, that's super shoddy. That's eventually going to come loose. Give this a nice little yank. Okay, I will say this, that is in there. That is in there. Okay, that net, the elastic is going to go well before this would ever rip out. This is secured very well. I'll give them that. This is secured very well. That is a good job doing that, because these nets always, like, if you have a case like this for an extended period of time, a lot of these nets will eventually come out of here, or they'll get yanked out or ripped. And I mean, this is pretty, I mean, I'm pulling that super hard. I'm impressed by this little net. And we got our same products as we saw in the other one. Now the interior material here, very soft and velvety, and that's definitely a good design decision on their part, because obviously when you put your electronics in a case, you don't want the case to be like this type of material where it could get buffed or scratched. So definitely giving them bonus points for choosing a nice soft velvety material so your electronics won't get damaged. And on the top, it appears to be the same material, but for some reason it feels a little bit more rough on the top. Really think they could have done something to kind of hide these these lines here. I'm not quite sure what, or maybe just trim it more flush or something, but I mean, what are you gonna do? They probably pay like $1 for each one of these, if that. So now just give me 1 second and we're gonna talk about the price. This case and silicone cover and screen protector is available for $14.99, which is quite a good deal when you consider that this, excuse me, not this one, this standalone case by itself is $9.99. So if you want the cheapest possible option, you'll go with this. But I mean, for $5 more, you get this, the dust covers and all the accessories, the screen protector specifically. So it's worth considering that upgrade. Now we're going to take a look at the silicone case that comes with it. We're going to see we have an injection molding mold line here where it was molded and where they trimmed it. Now the trim job on this isn't bad at all. However, the mold itself, the line, doesn't appear to be parallel from this edge here. And either that's because this edge here is not straight or because this mold line is not perfectly straight, which doesn't make a huge difference, right? But it's just little things, little details. In a super high quality product, this mold line would be completely straight because the molds would be machined. Now, the bevel for the SD card, it looks nice, but you can see like sort of flat edges around this radius right here, which isn't a killer, but again, you know, high quality products, that would be smooth. Now this is a very interesting mold line here. Let me do something about the lighting so you guys can see better. Guys, I'm back with hopefully some better lighting. Yep, definitely some better lighting. Okay, so this right here is definitely an interesting little mold mark here. Looks kind of cool. I like that. And here we have the USB-C port here, as well as the loop for the keychain, so that that's not obstructed. That's good attention to detail there. It just feels like good smooth silicone. Now here we have all of the GPIO pins are marked, and that is super cool. I really like that. It's a nice touch. That way when this case is on, you don't have to take it off to see the markings on the flipper there. So that's definitely a nice touch. And the casting lines on the top are significantly more raised from the surface than the ones on the bottom. Specifically that right there, I can catch it with my fingernail. Overall, it's about what you expect. The opening, I mean, it is flexible, and obviously if it ships like this, it's going to have a tendency to hold that shape a little bit, but we'll see how it fits on the flipper. I'm going to go ahead and unplug my dev board. By the way, this dev board is available for purchase on CRZYCYBR.com. So if you are interested in a Wi-Fi dev board and want something custom made, be sure to check that out. Alright, let's slip the flipper into its little jacket here. Gotta give it a little stretchy buoy. Okay, now let's go over the fit. Appear to have some paint pen. Okay, so now let's take a look here. You know, it's really cutting it quite close to the edge of this. I would have liked to have seen this continue a little bit more, just so the IR functionality isn't blocked in any way. But that's a small gripe because most likely it won't really affect it. Got our pins here, not blocked. And if you look here, this is pretty good here. I mean, it really follows that curve quite equidistant all the way around. That's definitely good to see. That's a sign of some quality and some thought going into this. SD card slot. Okay, see? Alright, that was kinda hard to get out. But doable, right? And a quick fix for that would be to put a step down here around to about this far around it, and that would prevent that issue. We've got our keychain ring exposed. These edges might make it a little bit harder to get one in there, but you know, that is what it is. Okay, here's one of my biggest gripes with some modern cases is that they don't leave enough space around the port so that if you have a thicker charger, like here's one of the ones, the USB-Cs that I use that are available on CRZYCYBR website, and I have the wrong end of it. Nope, I did not have the wrong end of it. So this is one of the chargers that I am selling on CRZYCYBR.com. You can see it's a little bit thicker, and this will probably fit in this one. Nope, see? That does not fit. You can squash the case down, but you can, if you look really closely here, you can see it's bending the case in right there. So that's one of my biggest gripes with modern day cases for stuff, is they don't take into account that some people run higher quality chargers that are usually thicker. And this is actually one of my thinner ones, because most of the chargers I run that I also sell on CRZYCYBR.com, they have a little display here that tells you the wattage going into the device, which is useful for various testing functions and troubleshooting with different devices. So that's definitely a gripe. That's definitely a negative. You know, a lot of data USB-C cables are thicker, so that's kind of annoying, but I mean, you can still get it in there, but eventually that's going to cause some wear on the case. It's going to make it loose, and eventually damage it. Now, let's take a look up at the top here. Now I'm gonna push this down to see like how the shape, it's slightly loose, but it needs to be, because you get the flipper in by stretching it. Now this right here is not perfectly equidistant. It's a little bit thicker up here than it is here. And again, these are just me going into crazy detail, right? That's probably not gonna matter in your day-to-day life, but it's just something that I personally notice in certain products, and I just, you know, want to point it out. Really give these products a thorough review so you guys know all the negatives, all the positives, and that way you can make an educated decision on it if it's something you do want to purchase for your flipper. Because this thing is an investment. It's a ton of fun. It's an incredible tool, and you know, you got to protect it. So the bottom is more equidistant from the bottom of the screen. That's looking good there. See if we got thumb is hitting the case in some places, but that's not a big deal because I can still push the button without issue. And now let's take a look and see. Okay. Yep, no issues there. DevBoard fits on beautifully. The case is not interfering at all at any of the parts of it, so that's definitely a plus. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see that on camera, but it is just sitting just above the case and just to the very edge of it there. And a good fit is something that I like to see, and that is a good fit. That's a good fit. So now, because clearly these products are made by the same manufacturer, they have the same casting marks here, which means that they're using the same exact mold for it. So it's going to be interesting to see if this one fits better, or if this one fits better, or if that third one that we have fits better. So Eventually we're going to come to the drop test, but for right now we're still going through the products. And here I'm going to set that there, set this to the side. You guys already saw everything that was in it. Now again, this is a little bit different here. You can see this has this carry loop or whatever you want to call it. It looks like this may or may not be adjustable. Okay, not adjustable, but a little carry loop right there. You can hook it on a backpack or hook it wherever, keychain, whatever. This does not have that, and I'm just really kind of annoyed by the quality of this zipper. It's just really off, and you know, I kind of have some weird OCD going on with things like that, and that would just drive me crazy. You know, originally I was going to keep this one, but we'll see what happens. Alright, here's the second one. Let's zip it up and take a look at the zipper quality, see if it's better or worse. This one appears to be better, but it's still not good. I don't get it. I really don't get that. It's like really not hard to make these things even. And it looks like we got the same issue on the back here. One of these is straight and one of these kind of goes like that. For some reason this zipper feels a lot better than the other one. Running into tight spot there. Alright, now it's, nope. Real tight spot there. Wonder if it's hitting. It looks like it already snagged it a little bit right here. Okay, this, again, like look at this. Look how off center this is. Where they did it. I mean, this is like all the way over to this side, justified by a lot. Another thing that would bother me if I had to look at it every day. The material appears to be very similar, but the material in this case feels to be higher quality. I'm not sure if it's a different batch of this material that the manufacturers got or they were made at different times, but the material in this one is definitely softer. Again, that's that right there is quite sloppy. Quite sloppy right there. Quite sloppy in the corners. Appears to be doing, I don't know if you can see that with the glare, but that appears to be doing a little bit of damage, but nothing crazy. That's just so bad on the back. If that doesn't bother you, I mean, this thing's only 14 bucks, so if that doesn't bother you and you just need a case to hold your flipper, by all means, but I have another option, a 3D printed option that'll be a surprise guest at the end of the video. And the STL is available on CRZYCYBR.com completely for free. And that is, in my opinion, higher quality than either of these two. Even with some 3D printing imperfections. Because that's just like, gosh, that just drives me crazy. Alright. So now that's the case. We're going to take a look at this case, throw the flipper into this, and just right off the bat, I don't know if you can see that from that angle, but this case appears to be quite warped and uneven. Again, that could be just because there's nothing in it at the moment, but I don't know, it's like probably just got bent in shipping and was like got shipped like that or shipped like that or something, because man, this thing is like barely wide enough for this, because the corners are going to slope in here. Interesting. Don't know why they didn't make it a little bit wider. Save on material costs probably. Okay, so there's a real rough spot in the corner here that the zipper keeps catching on, and I think it's the cloth material on the inner corner. But yeah. Alright, so let's go ahead and pop our dev board out again. Set that aside, throw it in this one. Okay, now here we are. Now when you push this down, there seems to be like a, I don't know if you guys can see that, but there's like a little bit of a bump here. And if you push it down in the corner and on the top, that's better than the black case was for the equidistantness of the, if I push it down, of along the top of the screen. Definitely more parallel on this one, which is a good sign. The bottom screen is a slightly higher here than it is here, but you know, no big deal. Buttons accessible, screen looking good. GPI opens. Interesting. Now this one, if you take a look, this case here has a much more significant bezel on the back part going down towards the pins in the center than this one. I don't know if you guys can tell on camera, but I mean it's very noticeable here. And this bevel here is much less clean than this. You can see here some of that nonsense right there. This is much cleaner. This one has more imperfections. And but I do like this bezel a lot, as long as it's not going to get in the way of the board. Sorry, not bezel, bevel. Okay, this port looks even more obstructed than the other one. Let's go ahead and do our charger test. Yeah, that one's way more obstructed than the other one. You see it smashing in the case right there. I mean, you can still get the charger in, not a crazy deal. But that is definitely more obstructing the USB-C more than this one. And eventually that's going to get squashed in or indented and kind of hold that shape. Let's try to grab our SD card. Barely. Yep. Better hope you don't have to take your SD card out in the wild. You might drop it down a storm drain or something. Putting it in is obviously much easier than taking it out. Okay. Now this one here is less equidistant than the black case. You can see it's thinner here and here than it is over here. The IR sensor might be even more obstructed than the other one. You gotta pull that back a little bit. See, ideally it would be like, give it like that much room, at least that much room. But it is what it is. And this case is a lot less clean. All these marks here and like the raised surface, and it's like you can tell it's not uniform and it wasn't trimmed all the way down. The casting lines are much more pronounced, and you can catch your fingernail on it all the way across this case. Now that's very pronounced. Very pronounced all the way down. And I guess these molds, these are not from the same mold. Like I said earlier, the casting mark is definitely more raised, and the other one doesn't have this bevel. Alright, let's try to plug in our joint. Okay, that bevel for the win. I can't tell. I can't even tell if it's touching right here. It might be touching it. It might be. Might be touching. But still a good product. I wouldn't say a good product. It still is a product. No, in all fairness, it's not bad. I'm sure it's going to do the job it intended to do. These little details are something that I look for in products because it shows the care and the thought behind them in the manufacturing process. And nowadays, getting a product that has thought behind it and care and true passion behind it is really rare today, because most of what we have, and really a lot of the times in the electronic community, is just mass produced, no thought, no soul, just get it in, get it out, take the money products. And that's why I like custom made stuff like this that was made by a human being who really enjoys what he was doing. And this dev board was created for me by the Reddit user Remain Above. I'm selling his dev boards on CRZYCYBR.com. You can always reach out to him on Reddit. He told me he would be happy to make some for some customers, so if you're interested in one, go ahead and check it out. And if you want to see more of it, check out my Evil Portal video, the one titled, Evil Portal, how to protect yourself from password theft and something like that. I'll link it right here. Alright, so now let's try our third case. Which is basically just this one, but a standalone case for $9. I'm gonna pull that out. Trying not to mess up this box too much. There we go. Alright, we got our dust plugs and our instruction plugs. Oh, that's something. Okay, before we move on to this, we're going to test the dust plugs for each case. One thing that would have been cool on these cases is a cutout here to see the Flipper logo. That would have been a really nice touch. I don't know if maybe that would have made it too hard, but it looks like you got some room on the bottom to have it still come around that edge here. I would have liked to see that, that would have been cool, but I didn't design this case though, so what are you gonna do? Okay, so our dev board's released. This is the long side, this is the small side, so now let's go ahead and throw these in there. Are you serious? That's the worst fit ever. Dude, what? Okay, just let it be known that these dust covers are useless. Let's try the SD card one. Bro, useless. Absolutely freaking useless. That is, okay, that's really annoying, to be honest. And I mean, I just want to show you guys that I'm really pushing it in and trying to give this thing all the benefit of the doubt. Garbage. Alright, so the dust plugs aren't worth a thing, or maybe just this specific one. Let's try the orange ones and pray to God that they fit better, because that's just awful. See, I'm probably going to be using the black case though, because I obviously like the black better. Well, I guess not obviously, but I like the black better. Alright. See if they have that matching bevel on them. Nope. Okay, I don't have very high hopes for these at all. They don't even have the same bevel that the case has. Bruh. Alright, these are absolutely freaking worthless. There's absolute junk. Case is good. Case is decent. These, junk. On both of them. Alright. Here is our third case. It's a similar silicone case. Clearly these are all made by the same company. They got the same dolphin logo. So I really hope the dust covers on these ones fit. I mean, that's crazy. Here's the instructions. Basically just slap it in there. These oranges are quite different. I don't know if that's coming across on camera, but this one's a lot more yellow. Alright, definitely closer to here than it is here. Not bad on the bottom, but definitely higher here than it is here. More space for the IR than any case we've seen so far. That's definitely a plus. This one also has the bevel on the GPIO pins. SD card seems to have about the same space as the other one, yeah. If anything, that one was a little bit easier. This appears to have slightly more space for the USB-C cable than the other ones, but we'll find out. Nope. Okay, I mean, gotta squash the case, but I mean, the connector and the flipper holds it because the flipper's high quality. This is pretty equidistant here. Casting marks are raised but uniform all the way down. Good trim job on that. Okay, let's see if we'll finally get some dust plugs that fit. Nope. Okay, all of these dust plugs absolutely worthless. I'm not even gonna actually, okay, just for the sake of it, I will try it, but guarantee you it doesn't fit. Garbage. I mean, this case by itself is worth 10 bucks without the dust plugs, so I'm not like mad about the price, but I'm mad about the dust plugs not fitting. Like, you had to have tested this before you put this out for sale. Like, how do you not change that? Well, probably because they already printed 25 billion of these and didn't want to lose their dollars. Which is somewhat understandable, but not excusable from the customer's standpoint. So, just this for $10, I would say it's probably worth it just because this will protect your flipper. These cases, you know, if I'd have bought 100 of these or 200 or whatever, I might have eventually came across one that was made on a, you know, a Tuesday where everybody's fresh and you know, they still got energy from the weekend and still happy buzzing from the weekend, putting some love into their craft. And might have found one that all of this was symmetrical and looking good, but that was not the case with both of these. Really, the sewing quality was really bad. Really bad. And I mean, this was so far off center when you open it, it wasn't even funny. I mean, look how off-center that is, and I mean, it's like, it feels like it's already hanging by like a single thread, just floppy, and like, you know, any sort of material, even plastic, could have been put in there to make this feel more quality and like sort of hold its orientation, because it just flops to the side because it's so far off-center. But so these cases, they do what they're supposed to. They will protect your flipper. I will say the positives of this are the nets. The nets are really, really in there. They're not going to rip on you. The elastic isn't very good. It kind of just defaults down to here. It should have been shorter, and they should have stretched it slightly when they sewed it. But these do what they're supposed to, right? Fits in there. I would have made it have more depth so that it fits in there better. But I mean, you know. And it's going to protect your device. And if you put it in a book bag or something, you're not going to have to worry about it at all. Now, this one feels more solid, only slightly. Now this has more of a snug fit for some reason. You can see it flexing this side right here. so that fits more snug. And I guess that's kind of a good thing, because you don't really want it to be rattling around. And I don't know if you can hear, but that is not moving and rattling at all. That is staying put. So this one is actually better because it has a tight fit. And the screen protectors are good because depending on if you put your cables in here, you don't want that metal scratching here. So the screen protectors that came with it are definitely a good thing. So let's take a look at the screen protectors and get into that for a second. Alright, so here we have the package that came with the screen protectors, and I believe the carbon look, or as they call it, black flipper case. I'm gonna open that up. There we have our screen protector right here, and it looks like this one just sticks on. Alright, screen protectors, obviously I have to clean it because I just smudged it with my fingers, but screen protectors I give a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. Let's take a look at the fit. Okay, I appear to be moving it around a little bit when I put pressure on it. Okay, so fit, you can see right here that there's a gap, and over here on this side there is no gap. Up here, slight gap, down here bigger gap. I give the fit slightly above average. I'm going to give the fit a 6. 5.56, something like that. It feels like a quality, durable material. I don't know if it's Lexan or polycarbonate or what. But yeah, screen protector is probably the most high quality thing in this pack. It's probably one of the most valuable in terms of protecting your flipper. So for you to get 3 of them with the case, with the silicone case, I'm not even going to say the dust covers because they're absolute garbage, but with those 3 things, this is definitely worth $14, 100% worth $14. You also got these dust removal things, which I could have done before, but my screen was clean, so I didn't really need to do it. I just gotta, you know, polish that up and then check it out. But so yeah, I definitely would say that these cases, they are worth it for the price that you pay for them. Get them in 2 days from Amazon. Definitely worth it. You have the 2 colorways. Fits pretty much any dev board on it with the pins. So my review of these cases is that though they are relatively shoddily made, they're not high quality. I'd say they're about average quality, maybe below average quality. But they do their job, right? And I'd say I would give these cases above average because they do what they're supposed to do. Now, if they were this quality and they didn't protect it, I mean, they're getting a 3, a 2, right? But they do their job. They hold the flipper in place. They don't let it bang and skip all around. There's spots for your cables. It holds it in there. So I'm going to give it a 6. I'm going to give these cases a 6. This one I really like the look of. Love the carbon fiber look. I think that's super cool. I'll probably be using this one. This one I'm going to be giving away. So if you like and comment on the video, you'll have a chance to win this, and I will ship it out to you with the case, with the screen protectors, and even with those god-awful dust covers. Alright, let's move on to our Wi-Fi DevBoard cover. Okay, now this case right here, it's called the, well, the official Amazon title is Flipper Zero Wi-Fi DevBoard Pixel Art Case Wi-Fi DevBoard Protection Box. So the specs are, the description was introducing the Flipper Zero Wi-Fi DevBoard case. This case is designed to fit the OEM Flipper Zero Wi-Fi DevBoard and features a pixel art design inspired by the popular Flipper Zero box. The case is made of high-quality plastic and is designed to protect your DevBoard from scratches and damage. The pixel art is printed on the front and back of the case and is sure to bring an extra level of joy when you use it. The case also features a convenient USB-C port cutout. This case has been constructed to have a friction fit, but also allows you to take it apart without breaking the case, or worse, your Wi-Fi DevBoard. Just be gentle when taking it apart, as the posts are plastic and not metal. We made it super easy, as text, picture, and video instructions are included for your convenience. Whether you're a developer, maker, or just looking for a stylish and functional case for your Flipper Zero Wi-Fi DevBoard, this Flipper Zero DevBoard case is the perfect choice. So basically, the specifications don't really list anything other than what was in the description. It says it includes a fitted storage adapter with pin protection, and this case is made of high quality materials and designed to be durable and easy to use. So this is not an OEM dev board, but it's really the only one I had lying around that I think may fit in this. So we're going to give it a try, and if it doesn't fit, I'll get one shortly. Alright, that's not going to fit. Cue to when I have a official dev board. Alright guys, so quality on the Wi-Fi dev board. Unfortunately, I could not get the dev board I ordered in time for the video because custom sent it back. Not much to say about that, but that's ridiculous, but whatever, it is what it is. Now, in the instructions for this, right, we're talking about quality, right, about this piece right here. As far as quality, it's extremely light and very brittle plastic, and you can see by the lines. Hopefully that is coming off on camera, and you can see the layer lines, but it is 100, there you go, it is 100% 3D printed, for sure. For sure. And in the instructions, they said to be gentle because of these posts that are plastic, and I was quite gentle, but this thing snaps in so tight you have to put enough force to open it, right? And I was pulling straight up on both sides, and I snapped two of the posts off. So quality of this, man, it's kind of hard to quantify because I do really like the design. The design is some cool little 8-bit art. Not all of it's tech related, but you can see we got a CPU here. Wow. Can't make that up. I don't know if you guys just saw that, but one of the posts just fell off. So yeah, the art, some of it's tech related. It would have been cool if that was a dolphin. It looks like the artwork is 3D printed in, so I'm guessing they're using a bamboo or at least some other sort of multi-filament capable printer. You got a few tech items, the controller, the phone, the light bulb. I mean, I don't know if you can classify a light bulb as tech. Some of the new smart ones maybe, but definitely got a pot leaf right there. TV. Yeah, and just some other stuff. I mean, it's cool, cute little novelty, whatever you want to call it, 8-bit art. Not very specific to the flipper at all. There's not really a single reference to the flipper in the artwork unless you could construe this whale as a dolphin. Now, it's PLA, clearly some sort of PLA for sure. And there's not much to say. I think I'm gonna give the quality, I'm gonna give it a 4.5, slightly below average, just because when you think of the quality, you kind of got to take into consideration all things considered, right? The artwork, average. The PLA they used, I don't think this is PLA plus. I think this is just PLA. It's super brittle. And these posts, right? What good is a product if it breaks during normal use? And I mean, I wasn't wrenching on this thing, or I was literally just opening it to start filming this, and post snapped right off. And I mean, clearly it happened on both of these, right? So I mean, it's not like, you know, if it was like strong and good, right, it probably would have survived on one of them at least, right? But you can see there's supposed to be a post here, post here, post here, post here, and then on this side I'm sure there's supposed to be a post here, post here. And so 3 out of 4 broke on this one, and 2 out of 4 broke on this one. So I don't know, I mean, maybe this is just meant to be used once. Just put it on the flipper, on the dev board, and it stays there for forever. But I would think that maybe it would be a better idea for them to send this disassembled, and that way you don't really run the risk of, I'm having to be super gentle. I don't want to break another one. Okay, so yeah, this product, and I mean, for $20, I just don't know if this is worth it. If you like the artwork and you are looking for that aesthetic appeal, I mean, clearly the color schemes perfectly match, you know. If you're looking for that aesthetic appeal, I would say go for it. You still got access to your buttons here, so you know, the chipset will be exposed, which is a nice touch. Got the USB port exposed, again, nice touch. Functional, more realistically than a nice touch, but yeah, so I think this is up to each individual if they think this is worth it. For me personally, it is not. I would much rather print a case myself. I do have a 3D printer, and there's probably some more elegant solutions available online. Maybe I'll make a video on the best 3D printed products for the flipper, and we've got one coming right up after this. So yeah, overall guys, I am going to give this a 4.5, slightly below average. Let's move on to, I guess I didn't talk about this jig, but clearly this is just some way to make sure your everything is lining up properly when you put your dev board in. It fits, it's a really snug fit, and to be honest, it seems completely unnecessary because you already have the cutouts. And I mean, this one doesn't fit, but you can kind of clearly see where those are gonna go. You know, maybe if I trim these off, which is like, I can't believe that, but if I trimmed these off, it would probably fit in there. I think this is smaller than the regular dev board, but I mean, you can see, I mean, there's really no need for this jig. I mean, this is kind of completely unnecessary. It's a they got their 3D printer tuned pretty well though. Trying to bring in a close-up. The lighting's a little off. It's nighttime, but pretty clean print, I must say. Doesn't look like there's any post print processing or anything. No sanding, maybe some vapor polishing, but I mean the bottom is just really good. Really good, really quality print. I mean, these bevels here, I mean, I'm gonna move my lighting here. Those bevels are just as clean as could be. So they got that thing tuned to a T. But at the $20 price point, I cannot give it more than a 4.5. Now, if it was at the $10 price point, you know, that's more realistic. And it, there's a part of me that feels bad giving it a score below average, but that's honestly how I feel. I am not one of these guys who is gonna talk up a product and just lie through my teeth to try to get you guys to buy something from my link. You will, I vow that you will always get an honest review from me. You will get a thorough review, and I will be 100% honest in everything I say about the product forever. And this, I can't in good faith give this higher than a 4.5. You know, because it's one of those things where it's, you know, would I spend my own money on this? And clearly I did for the review, but I would not buy this twice. I'll put it that way. If I lost this or I got another flipper, I would not be buying this twice at the $20 price point. But you know, I'm sure it's really hard for these, you know, startup, you know, new small businesses to create a product like this. If I remember correctly, they've already sold a ton of these though. So good for them. I would like to see them improve upon the design somehow, maybe PLA plus or even carbon fiber nylon. Get these posts to be something that, you know, will really never break or something like that, but you know, it is a cool little design. I'll give them that. And it definitely does add some aesthetic appeal for sure. So if I had a dev board that fit, this is kind of what you would be looking at on a day-to-day basis using the flipper. And it is kind of a cool effect. I'm gonna kind of hold this and bring it up. But I mean, it is kind of a cool effect. You know, it is a nice little aesthetic touch to it. Some nice color matching. A little bit of artwork, brighten things up. But that is my final review on this product. Now let's move on to the thing I'm really excited to show you guys, and that is the Ultimate Flipper Zero case. And as I've mentioned probably at this point, I don't know, but probably like 4 or 5 times, the STL is available completely for free, 100% free on CRZYCYBR.com. Alright. Guys, here it is, and it doesn't look like much now. This is with absolutely zero post-print processing, no vapor polishing, no sanding, nothing. And in addition to that, it was printed with a 0.08 millimeter nozzle. So nozzle that prints much faster, lays down much more plastic at a time, but definitely sacrifices on quality a little bit. But the walls are pretty good, and the bottom's really good, but you know, that's less to the point of the video and more about my printers, you know, my personal printers tuning. But so it is. Now here, I'm gonna go start with the top first. This is the top that I printed. I unintentionally printed the top without the logo because I was not paying attention. So this is the top with the logo. You can see it's super cool. I'm definitely going to be printing it again very soon, and printing the one with the logo for sure, because that looks awesome. It uses M3 by 25 millimeter bolts for the hardware, and you simply just bolt everything through. It has these hinges, and it has another piece off to the side I'll show you in a second, but the hinges open up. It actually has 3 additional pieces, I think. So it comes with this large cavity for various cables and stuff, but this is why I'm the most excited about it, guys. With the case, look at this fit. I mean, nothing, no movement, no shaking. I mean, it is just, do you see that? Do you see that? That little like drop? I know you've seen those satisfying videos where people do that. Oh my gosh. Such a good fit. And if you're raw dogging your flipper, they even have this insert so that it'll fit just like that without a case, which is such a well thought out design and such a good touch. Really pleased with that. Got my my custom dev board, shameless plug, CRZYCYBR.com. You can get a custom bespoke board. Comes with this, and this will fit a standard dev board perfectly in the slot. But another thing is, look, perfectly fits with this case. Clearly they designed it with this case in mind, and that is super cool. That's super, I mean, whoever designed this thing is a genius. And obviously I credit all the original designers on the CRZYCYBR website. On the CRZYCYBR website, I put some STLs that I personally love and just my own collection, just so I can easily share with people free STLs. And of course, I always credit the original designer. I always put a link that if you want to download it from them, you can go to that link and do that instead of from my website. Because obviously I don't believe in stealing anybody's work and taking credit for it, because we all work super hard and we all deserve the credit that we're due in life, and sometimes that doesn't always happen, and that sucks to see. So you know, I always give credit to the people who create the things that I'm sharing. So here is, I mean, that's just such a good touch. I got 1 second, let me get the designer's name. I gotta 1 second. So this is a design that was remixed a couple times, but Lily_@_V is the credited remix designer of this case, and she did a phenomenal job. I mean, it's just such a good design. I'm really nerding out over it because everything's just super well thought out, and it's nice and thick. You know what I'm like? You could drop this probably from like a 3 or 4 story building, and like your flipper's gonna be fine. And when it comes to products, like I said in the beginning of the video, everything has just become so greedy, and it's almost like companies are like, how can we fuck over the people who are buying this product as much as possible to make as much money as possible? There's, you know, not a ton of people left who are, you know, how can we serve the consumers as much as possible and create the best product that we possibly can so that they will be return customers? And if you look at things, I mean, those businesses are always the most successful. So it's really cool to me to see something like this that's really well thought out. And I'm nerding out over it. I'm geeking out over it. So if by any chance, Lily, I hope I didn't say live. It's Lily_@_V. But Lily, if you watch this, phenomenal design. I love it. It's incredible. Really well thought out, solid design. And clearly I need to do a little bit of post-processing. This is like a super tight fit. And there's clearly something here impeding this. But yeah, great case. This is available at CRZYCYBR.com 100% for free, because the original designer had it 100% for free. And if you would prefer to download it from her page, the link will be in the description of this product on CRZYCYBR.com. So, yeah, just one more thing is that this is what I'm going to be using to take this flipper to jobs and, you know, carry around when I'm, you know, going out and about and, you know, hanging out. But the other products are good, but to be honest, this is my favorite by far. And maybe that's a little ridiculous for this video, but it's the truth. So CRZYCYBR.com. Go get it. Alright guys, so here we are with the flipper. And right now we're going to simulate a drop test. I'm going to hold it like pocket height. And we're going to simulate a drop test and see if my flipper survives. So here goes nothing. Okay, still on, still operational, everything works. We're gonna do that a couple more times just to make sure. Guys, like and subscribe, maybe get one of these from the link. Putting my flipper's life at risk. Again, no issues. Alright, drop test with the orange case is successful. No damage at all. Now we're going to peel this back and just double check. But yeah, I mean, not seeing any signs of any physical damage. Had a little thing there. Everything's good, guys. Everything is good. Alright, let's try the black one. Alright guys, here I am with the black one. Okay, and now here we are about to go do the drop test for the black one. Pocket height. That was a pretty solid drop right there. Again, no issues. Things are looking good, looking solid. It seems like this side here is more thick, but I'm not sure. Alright, drop test 2. Again, no issues, looking good. Didn't even turn the screensaver on. Okay, this case does its job. It protects your flipper. It prevents it from sustaining damage at a reasonable drop like we've tested so far. Most drops would occur at this height, right? Most people aren't, you know, chucking their flippers in the air and catching them for shits and giggles. But, yeah, definitely very pleased with that. And for $14, guys, I was really harsh on the quality of these cases, because, you know, I like good products, and I think in the past, you know, 10 or so years, product quality has really dropped off, and it's really something you have to watch out for. But I'm really pleased with the results from that test. I mean, no damage whatsoever. SD card didn't pop out. Screensaver didn't even turn on when I dropped it. I mean, that's a good sign, guys. I think for the $14, this case is definitely worth it. If you're buying it for the dust covers, don't buy it. Those dust covers are garbage. Complete and utter garbage. A waste of silicone. But other than that, I mean, everything else you get in this kit really makes it really worth it at the $14 price point. Especially the screen protector. Yeah, the screen protector itself is definitely something that's worth it. You know, these screen protectors are small, but I mean, like a phone screen protector is a minimum of $10 these days, and I don't know if it's just the size and the material, but for me, $14 for the case, 3 screen protectors, the dust removal things for the screen cover, and the silicone case. Really good value, really good deal, and it does exactly what it was designed to do, which is the most important thing. Alright guys, so that wraps up a brutally honest review of Flipper Zero Amazon Products Part 1. The next part of this series is going to be the stuff that everybody really wants to see. It's going to be the technical products like various Wi-Fi DevBoards from Amazon. We're going to be going into a really cool DevBoard that I found there that is back on its way from China again for the second time, so hopefully customs doesn't kick it back again. as well as specifically a sub-gigahertz range extender and a couple other technical little products that we're going to go into. And in that video, we may go into flashing the firmware onto the dev boards, but for right now, I'm not sure of that. But if it's something you want to see, like and subscribe. I have a ton more flipper content coming. And also, one of the more exciting things on my channel is I have a what I think is going to be a really amazing build coming up, and it's going to be a dual epic 7551 CPU XM Rig Monero miner build that I have affectionately named Hulk. It's going to have a completely custom open chassis designed and fabricated by me, custom hardlined water cooling, over half a terabyte of registered Micron 32 gigabyte memory sticks, 16 of them, which is mind-blowing. And it's going to be one heck of a build, guys. I'm going through from the first part is already live on the channel. I go through all the parts that I have. Still waiting on a couple things, but we are pretty much at the point where we have almost every single thing that we need, except for a couple sticks of RAM that are on the way. And the next video in the series, I will be going through and beginning the actual fabrication process of the custom open chassis, which is going to be a really cool video, and it's going to mix some creative mediums, some sculpture, some technical stuff, technical design work, and a bunch of different skills and processes are going to be going into making this PC, and I'm incredibly excited for the build. It's been in the planning stage and in the back of my mind for almost 3 years now, slowly collecting parts over time and just, really having the time to do it. I'm extremely busy these days, but we're ironing out some time in the busy schedule to make this build happen, because it is just something that I'm extremely excited for. And I hope you guys are going to enjoy it, because I've really put a lot of work into it. And I'm nerding out. I just think it's like the coolest thing I've ever built, so I'm just super excited for it. Be sure to check out CRZYCYBR.com. Everything in this video naturally will be linked in the description down below. So if you want to get any of these items after seeing the brutally honest review, feel free to. And that's it. So Virgil CRZYCYBR logging off.